Hi. Yesterday I went to see the movie Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed this movie. Of all the ones I've seen, F9, Black Widow, some other things, but those two in particular, this was best. Why was it best? Well, first of all, let's just talk about who was in it. Simu Lee, I think it's you say Simu Lee, who played Shang-Chi or Sean. Um, Aquafina, who plays his friend Katie. Michelle Yeoh, a Ying Nan, sorry. But mostly, I have to give accolades to the director, Destin Daniel Cretton. I enjoyed this because of several factors. One, I laughed. One, the fantasy was excellent. Some of the scenes were just brilliant. The action was over the top, but regular. It wasn't like action that is created and doesn't seem real. This could be very real, and I felt that, and I really think the director has to have that effect in there. The acting was good, but mostly it was just enjoyable. It was a ride. You go on a ride, and there it is. Now, this is a large cast, and yes, the majority of the cast is Asian. But there also is other parts to it that was really interesting. I found it interesting. It's very early in the movie they're having, because I wasn't quite sure where and how the statement was in there, but it was like they were sitting having supper, and they were being kind of told off because what they were, as I don't want to give a lot away about the actual show, but anyway, all of a sudden this lady they're talking to, two couples having dinner, says, giving them a tough time for what they're doing, and says, you really need kind of, and I'm paraphrasing, yes, getting your act together, because according to the world that we're living in right now, half the population is going to disappear. And I kind of sat there and went, what? Where is this coming from? There was no real intro. There was no real exit to that. And now I have knowing that sometimes Marvel movies do give an explanation of what they're expecting to come forward in other times and places. So I found that very, very interesting. But that's aside from that. Besides that moment of like, what? I absolutely really give it, for me, a 5 out of 5, because it was fun. And when I can laugh in a movie and at the same time be entertained, and I can also at times go, hold my breath, because there's some height things in there. And I was like, oh, yeah, because I'm not a great height person. But I came away feeling filled. I came away feeling there was nothing more that they could have done to make this more. And as I said already, the director really needs accolades for this, because it never lost my attention once. Now, I said in an early show, wasn't many people in the theater. So when I laughed, I wasn't too sure if other people were also laughing at the same time. I know I was, because it was funny, play on words, different circumstances. But the fight scenes were phenomenal. Everything about it was phenomenal, I thought, anyway. So yes, if you want to see a great movie that is coming out, and oh, I have to say one thing: if you go to see a Marvel movie, you never get up and leave before the very end. And sure enough, this is one of them. They usually have a few little things, and then they have your little scene, which they did. And then you sit there patiently, waiting as streams of names and things go through. And then you have a final scene. Now, I was surprised how many people got up and left before we even got to the first little part. And each one of those parts added a lot more of what's to come. So I think we can look for more of Marvel's making 10 Ring movies with Mr. Shang-Chi, or as his English name, he called himself, Sean. I trust you love this movie as much as I did, and I wish you well at the movies. So thank you.